president of the Eurasia Group, a U.S. think tank, says Russian President Vladimir Putin has most likely asked his commanders for a plan to invade Ukraine. However, this does not mean that he will attack. He wants to keep his options open. But without diplomatic success, tensions may rise. He says he can't remember any time in recent times when U.S. politicians have been able to agree so much on an international issue. Russian demands have consolidated U.S. political views. But that does not mean that U.S. policy will succeed. Because the Americans are not as worried about Russia as they are about Ukraine. As much as Russia has economic influence over Europe, it has nothing to do with the United States. As a result, the United States has little choice in the matter. But the reluctance of the United States to have a policeman around the world would make it difficult to form a US-led coalition against Russia. He made it clear that while many are using the hashtag #StandWithUkraine on social media, there is no reason to think that the United States will fight to protect Ukraine. The United States and its allies may provide arms assistance to Ukraine, but there is no possibility of providing direct assistance to Ukraine. He says there is no possibility of a US-Russian war, or a Third World War, centered on Ukraine. In an article in the U.S. think tank Geopolitical Futures, George Friedman says Russia wants to discuss, not attack, preparations for a military strike on Ukraine. Russia demands that NATO never accept Ukraine as a member, and NATO should control the deployment of weapons on Russia's borders. Russia has made a claim that it knows very well that the United States will not agree to. Because by doing so, the United States will completely lose its credibility. It is not at all appropriate for the United States to bow to Russia under pressure. As a result, it will have a global impact. Internally, it would also create terrible political instability in the United States, which would be beyond the control of the US government. It does not mean sitting down to prepare for a military mission. Because at every moment NATO is providing military assistance to Ukraine, and the mission for Russia is getting tougher every moment. So is Russia doing the whole thing as an information war? But the problem is that it is very difficult to win public opinion in the event of a military strike in another country. The best time to attack is to sit back and threaten to attack. Which means that Russia does not really want to invade Ukraine. The rule of war is to attack at the most convenient level, and giving no advantage to the enemy. And the rule of diplomacy is to make enough threats before reaching an agreement.